Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing? Today I had a question that I'm going to address, and it was one that was submitted inside of the comments. I'd asked you guys to leave a comment, let me know what would be a topic that you would like to talk about in these live from the porch conversations. Now, typically, we're on the back porch, but today I mixed it up a little bit. I'm on the front porch. And the question that was submitted was from Glenn Purdue Jr. And I think it's a good question. The question essentially is, if someone is being paid commission versus being paid straight pay, or if you like, being paid by the hour, does it make an effect on the quality of, and actually what Glenn said was the product, the quality of the product. I think he meant the quality of the work. Does it make an effect on the quality of the work that's being done? So that is the question that we are going to address this morning, is we're going to address the question, does it make a difference? If you're getting paid commission or if you're getting paid straight hourly, does it make a difference on the quality of work that's produced by the service technician in question, whether that's a plumber, an electrician, an HVAC tech? Hey, these are live. So as they are live, what I want you to do is I want you to participate. This is a conversation, all right? So I want you to participate in the conversation. And let's go ahead and kick it off. I'm going to answer the question from my perspective, but I'm going to pose the question to you as well. Does it make a difference? Now, you can get your phone out, do a simple yes or no comment. Yes, if you think the quality of work is affected by the way someone's paid. No, if you think that it's not affected. We're going to unpack it. Thomas, hey, buddy. My old buddy from high school. I see you. How you doing? Great to have you on here. Thomas, for those of you that don't know, he and I used to pal around. He was in that old crew. Guys, by the way, as you're coming on, I'll give you a shout out. So, Jamie, I see you. There's been some other folks that have been popping on. Jason, good morning. Kenneth, hey, Promise Group Kenneth. Sean, thank you for being here. All right, so let's just jump into it. Because I've heard this before, right? Where the argument is that, so Thomas is saying yes. The argument is often that a commission-based person, the quality of their work isn't going to be as good. I've heard that argument several times. And the foundation of that argument essentially goes something along the lines of the following. Because they're commission-based, that must mean that the company is solely focused on making money, period. So therefore, the commission-based person is going to be rushed. And if they are rushed, then the quality of their work isn't going to be as good. That's one argument. Now let's flip the argument around. I've heard that straight pay, we could even say straight pay, not time and material. We could say straight pay, they get paid an hourly amount, and they may be a flat rate company, right? So I've heard the same exact argument, which is now because the job, that the pay for the job isn't locked in, where in a commission-based person, they may rush themselves. The argument for a straight pay person is that now that the job isn't locked in to a flat amount, the shop may rush them because they're paying so much an hour and they want to make sure that they get off the job and that they get on to the next one so that they keep their labor percentages in line, right? Hey, Daniel. So there are a lot of opinions on how someone gets paid and whether or not it affects the quality of the work. Now, I got an opinion, and opinions are what they are. I do think that your pay absolutely affects the quality of your work. I don't think that it personally matters if your pay is based off commission or if your pay is based off an hourly pay. I don't think that necessarily affects the quality of the work, but I do think the pay does. What do I mean? Very, very simple. I think that what you're going to find is that the best quality work is typically going to be produced by the guys that have received the best training, and they work for a company that want them to do a great job, and that they want them to have very low callbacks, which means they're investing in their technical training, And it means that the real focus is to do a great job for the client to prevent callbacks. Now, how that connects to pay, in my opinion, is that the companies that focus that way have figured out that in order to not rush a technician through a call, in order to provide them with the training that they need, that they've got to pay that tech well. As a byproduct, they have to charge a fair amount to the market. So what I really think it boils down to isn't about how you're paid, whether it's hourly or whether it's straight commission, but I think what it really boils down to is, are you paid well, and are you paid well enough, and are you charging enough that you can do the operational things like training, that you can afford to take the time on a call as you need because it's priced properly. I think that is what really affects the real outcome of pay. Now, are there always going to be, things that will change the rules? Absolutely. You're going to find some people that, from the mind of the CSR, for the sake of example, they may not be well and properly trained, and they might rush the technician. But you might find some technicians that they're zeroed in 100% on money, and that's it, and getting to the next call, and therefore they rush sometimes, and that actually affects the quality of the work because they just want to get to that next commission job. You might find some technicians that the quality of the work might actually be enhanced when they're straight paid because they just slow way down, they don't feel rushed. So absolutely, can it affect it to a degree? It can affect it to a degree, but I think far so less than what your company adopts as a culture. All right, let's see what Daniel says here. Daniel, I don't know if I can see your whole comment, Daniel. Should pay affect quality? No. Does it depend on the person? I think what you probably just said was what I said, because you're a smart guy. And from what little bit of the comment that I could see, I think that's what you wrote. So does it ultimately affect it? I mean, fractionally, I suppose. But I think what's more important is the culture of the company, the training that you put into it, the real heartbeat of what your company is projecting out there. Absolutely, we must always be priced profitably. There's no question that you should make money, and part of that money obviously goes to paying your team members well, whether they're getting straight commission or whether they're getting an hourly pay. At the end of the day, if you're managing this company, so technicians, listen to this. Don't get this twisted. You got to understand this very simple, very core philosophy of business. At the end of the day, your company must manage all portions of the business to a profitable business model, which means whether or not you're getting paid straight hourly or whether or not you're getting paid commission, they're trying to fit that in somewhere inside of the cost of doing business, which is to say they're going to figure out, if they're a smart business, they're going to figure out, no matter how they pay you, whether it's straight, whether it's commission, whether it's a hybrid of both, they're going to figure out where your production fits in that model, and your pay is going to be a byproduct of that. So with straight commission, it's real easy. You get paid what you produced, and that number's already been figured out. Super simple. With a hybrid method, they're going to bonus you based off that. With a straight hourly amount, your increases in your hourly pay is going to be a byproduct of a percentage of your performance to cost and field. So at the end of the day, what I think it really boils down to is that it certainly can have an effect because it's having an effect in the mind of the technician. But really, if your company and your mindset is focused on doing amazing quality work, that's what you're going to do. If you've always been a person that doesn't skip corners, you're not going to skip corners because your pay is different, as long as a wise company is paying you a fair percentage. And I think that's what most of the companies that are connected with us are going to do, or they want to do. That's why they're here. That's why they're learning. All right. That is it for this morning. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it sweet. Answer it real fast. Hey guys, I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving. We certainly did. And hope your holidays that's getting ready to come is going to be fantastic for you as well. And submit more questions. There's some great questions that are in the comments that are from I guess from Wednesday when I asked you guys to give me some. I'm going to address some of those in future Saturday posts. But if you want to see more of these, if you have a particular question, then submit it in the comments, and I'll address it next Saturday because these are great. These are fun. I love hearing from you. All right, so check this out. That's enough of that conversation. I'm going to have to get the blower out shortly. Look at that. My crepe myrtle, always, it was so beautiful. It does what it does. It drops its leaves. It's just piling up everywhere. So I got leaves everywhere. Of course, this is a Texas winter, which means we got a little we got a little bit less cold than some of the other areas. Like Mark, I know you guys up there in Ohio. Boy, it's got to be freezing by now. Look at my oak. That's a pretty one, isn't it? All right, guys, that's it. Go turn learning into earning, and I'll see you on the next Saturday video.